Annapolis, Maryland, proudly known as America's sailing capital and home of the United States Naval Academy, is the venue for a new 24-hour long-distance race featuring just 2 crew per boat. 17 teams have entered the race and prepare the boats for the start. The concept, developed by World Sailing, is to feature an Olympic double-handed long-distance race for the Games in 2024 and 2028. Mixed crew is defined as 1 male and 1 female sailor on each team. In anticipation of the Olympics, the Annapolis Yacht Club has inaugurated this new event.
It's great to have keelboat sailing introduced back to the Olympics, as that was my sport in the Olympics, and what a challenge.
I've sailed Olympic-class boats in the past, and this is new and exciting because it's a very versatile skill set, I think. We'll see where we get. This is certainly a great first step.
This opportunity for some double-handed distance racing is really unique. I'm a huge fan of offshore sailing. It's been my favorite type of sailing for a long time.
It's a fun format. Logistically, it's a lot easier for a boat owner. I think it's a good thing to try.
I love it, and AYC just set up this beautiful race, 24 hours for all of us, so we're excited, definitely.
But you'll notice that at the top of the course coming back, we take you around some turning marks.
On the morning of the start, 34 sailors are briefed on weather and safety. The Annapolis Yacht Club appreciates the support of 4 sponsoring companies that see the value in this race. The course zigzags across the Chesapeake. The competitors absorb the challenge of the changing currents and wind patterns forecasted over the next 24 hours. Trouble? No trouble.
This is the bottom mark here. This is the bottom mark.
That looks better.
Well, there's like 50 marks, so we're really at the whim of the race committee, so we're going to have some really quick tactical decisions of how to play that race course, but we've done some research on the weather, so our focus will be figuring out how to optimize our tactics.
There's a lot of good racers out there, a lot of good competition. It's a great format, and I look forward to seeing how we can do out there.
The fleet is split into 2 classes. The first start features 7 one-design J105s that line up for the start of the 100-mile-long race. 3 boats appear to jump the gun and are hailed by the race committee that they're over the line and need to turn back and restart. 2 boats return to the starting line quickly, but 1 boat does not hear the call on the radio and continues on. Smythe and Person are about 200 yards down the track when they realize they need to turn back.
It's all about preparation and really getting familiar with the boat and working together as a team is huge.
Compared to, I guess, bigger boat stuff, we need to organize more people. At least this is 2, but it's still 1 design, so I think it's going to do well.
The second division is an ORC handicap-rated class, and there is no gender requirement in this division. Like the J105s, the start sequence is competitive. Vinchingo finds an opening on the starboard end of the line and takes off on a fast start. This new design is making its USA debut with this race.
We've got a new boat in Annapolis. It's the Italia Yacht's 9.98. It's the 2-time ORC world champion, and it just arrived actually last Tuesday from Italy. Designed for ORC, designed for full crew or for short-handed racing, coastal and offshore use. So we thought this would be a great first event to try it out and see what we can do, and I thought it was an exciting format when it was announced.
The first leg is a 4-mile sprint across the bay. The seas are lumpy and the wind is building. Nancy Haberlin, now a coach at the U.S. Naval Academy and a midshipman, work to windward.
We were really looking forward to some nice 8-9 knots breeze, but here we've got, at least 15, 14 to 16 probably. And I'm just looking up the bay now, and we have a barge downbound off our starboard quarter, so we're going to have to contend with them here in a few minutes. So.
The ORC class is tightly packed as the boats round the first turning mark. The Jeanneau Sunfast 3300 is sailing nicely in the choppy seas. With only 2 crew, it's always busy on board.
We are about an hour and a half into the race, I think, and it's pretty clean. You can see we're on our way to the 3rd mark of the course, and doing some sweet
15 boats race to windward on a southerly course down the bay. The leaders are in close contention, but the wind is forecasted to drop at night and shift from a southerly direction to a northerly direction. Changes like that are always an opportunity to advance.
Well, it's 5:40. We got some boats behind us. We did well on a little shift now, thanks to my cameraman and co-skipper. And sort of 7 or 8 knots, close haul. It's a good condition for us right now, so we're liking this.
We got off to a good start. We're up and around boats that maybe we shouldn't be, so that's a good thing. We just got the figure out right here, Laurent. We've got Solana just down here, the Sunkiss 33 down over there, and we've got the Abiento 35 right there. Everyone else is nicely positioned behind us. So yeah, I think it started well, so yeah, we're enjoying it.
Time of day is 5:48. We just rounded Mark Z, and we had a bit of some breeze drop out on us. One boat in our fleet went right. Randy was able to hook into that same nice righty that came in and get around us too. Strutting right along, 4/8 through the water, 5 knots over ground, bucking a little bit of tide.
We'd like to get some rest in if we can, so we'll see how the weather plays into that. If there's some light wind areas, I think that might be an opportunity to rest. If not, then it's 24 hours.
I think we were both caught asleep at the helm for like 30 seconds at a time, but that's about it. I mean, we were unfortunate our last one, the autopilot went, so we were hand-helming the whole way.
It's short, it's 24 hours, so just maybe little cat naps here and there, but other than that, we're going to keep the hammer down and going strong.
We're downstairs in Rum Puppy, and just a bit of an update. We're a bit behind. We got stuck on the eastern shore in a little bit of a light spot for a while, and the rest of the fleet was able to take off from us a bit. Next mark, we have this long beat down the bay, just past the Patuxent River, and then hopefully we get some downwind in before we have to go back upwind when the wind changes over later tonight.
On board with 2-time Olympic medalist and America's Cup winner Randy Smythe and Christina Persson.
Beautiful sunrise behind you.
We got Otto on the tiller.
Nighttime was rough.
Well, we did a lot of upwind sailing for 5 knots.
Which is distinctly what this boat does not like to do.
The fleet spreads out as the wind goes light for about 4 hours, and then the northerly starts to fill in. Everyone's glad to be moving again.
Oh, not the beautiful morning on the Chesapeake. Going upwind in like 13, 14 knots of breeze. Small jib up. Having a good time.
Abiento is leading the ORC class and is sailing fast on the west side of the bay. The big question is, can they save their handicap allowance time on Vikingo?
Hell of a breakfast morale.
Vikingo is the second boat to approach the finish line.
This is Cookie Monster, about 11:35. We're approaching R84 Alpha, which would have sent us back down the bay on a reach or maybe a spinnaker run back to the east-west side of the bay. But what it looks like from the 2 boats that are ahead of us is that instead they shortened course here and they're sending everyone home, which is good. It's been a long night and a long race.
Principal Race Officer Jim Capron and his race committee team are on station aboard his boat, Rakatash. The committee is patrolled throughout the night. Abiento is the first boat to approach the finish. The J35 has had a good race. Will they hold their time on Vikingo? And a few minutes later, here she is, the Italian boat Vikingo. After all the boats finish and handicapped allowances are calculated, Vikingo is the overall winner of the ORC class. The Italian design is fast and will gain considerable attention after this race. A second finish line is set for the finish of the J105 class. Smythe and Person crossed the line 3 minutes ahead of Nancy Haberlin to win the J105 division. And here are the final results. After a long race, the competitors were still spirited at the prize giving at the Annapolis Yacht Club. Commodore Jim Ellis, Regatta Chair Shane Swingelberg, and Race Officer Jim Capron present the trophies to the top 3 boats in each class. Paul and Kathy Parks and Linda Ambrose rounded out the committee that organized the event. Based on the success in Annapolis, the club hopes to host this event next year.